Homeground Heroes is back, and this year I've got a new recruit.
Kia ora touch whānau, it's time to nominate the unsung volunteers who put the mahi in for the sport we love.
Enter them now for the chance to win $5,000 for their touch community.
Kia ora team, George here from Touch NZ. Now we all enjoy a bit of touch, but without a proper warm-up, the chances of being injured are massively increased. So to keep you on the field and out of the emergency room, Touch NZ have made a short and easy warm-up series for all levels, proven to lower the chance of injury by close to 50%. So head on over to our site and check them out. Play safe, play smart.
Tuia te rangi e tū nei, tuia te papa e takoto nei, tuia te kupu a te tangata, tihei Mauri ora. E te iwi nau mai hoki mai ki tēnei papahotanga o Whakaata Māori o te kemu tuawhā I te rā tuarua. Whānau, welcome back to our fourth game on the live stream for day 2 at the 2024 Bunnings Youth National Championships held at, I would say beautiful, but it depends what 5 minutes we are talking about. As one moment it's a storm and the next it is stunning. And thankfully for this upcoming game for the under-18 mixed pool between Nelson and Southland, it is a stunning view out there to start with. Now, normally we have people who were incredible but have probably left the game in the commentary box. But we are really blessed to have someone who's at the tip of the spear, not only in the sport in New Zealand at the highest level, but in the world. And it's none other than the incredible talent himself, Matty Sinclair. Matty, what a pleasure it is to have you in the commentary box on day 2 for our 4th live stream game. How's it going, bud?
Yeah, cheers, Mike. Good to be here. Just pretty excited to watch some good touch and have some quality yarns with you.
I talked to Matty earlier before we jumped on the broadcast about if he's feeling nervous about it, because I've never seen Matty nervous on the field, and he said he was a little bit. And I just said, just pretend you're talking to me, because he never had any trouble talking in my ear for 40 minutes and even sometimes in the 3-minute halftime when we were playing. So looking forward to the knowledge, the expertise that is going to come from your contribution to this broadcast, Matty. We've just seen the two teams going up there, as I said earlier. This is the under-18 mixed grade, and we have Southland versus Nelson. Now, a couple of mixed results for Nelson over the first day and a half. Starting off the week with a great win over Kapiti Horowhenua, then going down to Manawatu, a draw with Counties Manukau, and in their most recent game, a big 12-2 victory over Turanganui Akiwa. Whereas Southland, one of the strong teams here, and again, it's no surprise when you have the quality of coaches that they do in their team, and I say his name again, Dennis Thompson. At Southland having 3 victories yesterday, unfortunately going down this morning by 1-2 Manawatu, but one of the top teams so far. Matty, now I know you're one of the best in the men's comp, probably don't play too much mixed touch. What's it like for you coming here for our first game, which is a mixed grade?
Yeah, it'll be good, man. You know, I think I've actually coached against you in the mix, so you probably know more than me. You actually got one over me that day, so it'll just be good to see what's happening out there and let you know what I see.
If you leave the right koha in the right position, then you can often get the right result. So we'll just call it 1-0. Anyway, whānau, just to all the whānau down in Nelson and all the way down in Southland, just a big mihi and a big hello to you, as I'm sure you have tuned in for this 4th game against Nelson and Southland. I love it when catching up with whānau when they've seen their rangatahi watching at Matty there, so they couldn't care what the score is. They probably don't even know where the venue is. They're just so proud to see their nephew, niece, cousin, granddaughter just out here on TV, on the big stage, on the finals field here at Pullman Park in Takanini. A place where you live really close to, a place that you've played many a final to and got many gold medal after, Matty.
Yeah, it's won a fair bit here, but also lost a fair bit here, so it's a pretty special place for touch, and just, yeah, it's good to be back.
To lose the final, you have to be in it, and you've been in many as we have. Southland kick us off. We've just started to have a little bit of a trend of teams scoring on the first set, Matty. It was the opposite of yesterday, so Southland worked their way up to the touchdown zone for the very first time. Again, any team coached by Dennis Thompson. As we see, there it is. The trend continues, Matty. What did we have here on this first touchdown for Southland?
Yeah, just a bit too easy there. Just a 33 pick in the middle with the boys, and probably just a little too late on that shot. Yeah, just a bit too easy there.
Nice touchdown there. You see from Southland, the number 16, Baxter Demond, get an easy touchdown. That's exactly the way Coach Dennis Thompson would have wanted his team to start. Got down to the line, nice and easy. Nelson won't like that. Nelson, another region, very, very strong over the last decade anyway with mixed touch. As we see number 7 just goes under. We talk about 2 easy tries. Matty, what happened there?
Yeah, just a 3-3 sweep, and probably even easier than the last one. Just ducks in between 2 defenders there, and that's an easy fight back there from Nelson.
Look, if you're watching from television, you're thinking that Southland clocked off, but it's that skill level of the attacker in terms of the manipulation they do of those defenders that I guess the layman man probably doesn't see.
Yeah, he just held up the ball just slightly there, and it kind of held the defender for just enough time for he could slide in between them. Just a poor error there from Southland. Yeah,
uncharacteristic error there from Southland. Finding some rhythm, even though they started well in that first set, just finding some rhythm as they work their way.
I think the wind's going to play a big factor here, Mauri. It's definitely picked up, and I'd say the team that can control the pill the most is going to have an easier day here. Yeah,
you've just joined us. We've had a day and a half, and the wind has had a massive effect, particularly in the top right-hand corner, that part of the field, that left-hand side. It's been very difficult to throw long balls out there, passes travelling forward. You played here a lot. Is that a pretty normal condition, the wind and the impact it has?
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely it definitely blows out here, and you know, you just got to tighten things up and really ensure that your passes stick.
Good set. Very direct down the middle, as we see here at number 6. Thomas Spain, skipper for the Southland team, working in conjunction with Joshua Cairns. Oh, just a little subtle left-right ball. Oh!
Might have been a bit early there.
Just the body movement of the winger from Southland, that was just incredible. Instead of waiting for the pass, seeing that she was covered, stepped inside. Great
good yards.
Defense here from Nelson. Sorry, attack. Key part of the game, this, Matty?
Yeah, for sure. It's going to be played in the middle here, and just hard luck.
Number 5 there. Callum Robertson couldn't quite keep that one. Looked good. Looked like it was on. Southland straight into their work. This is really what I like about both of these teams. A couple of years ago, having had the opportunity to play against Nelson in the semi-finals of the Open Mixed. Talk about yards. Like, they just lived and breathed it, and yards just off the park. And this team looks like very much in that class. Probably wanted to not catch that one if it got out to the other attacker. It would have been in. When was your first nationals, Matty?
Geez, back in my day, it wasn't actually a 16s or 18s. It was 15s and 17s. So that's a few haircuts ago, mate. I don't know, 2009, 2008, something like that.
2008. Oh, nice draw and pass. Good hands there from number 9. Take us through it, Matty.
Yeah, just again, really good yards from Nelson there. Great platform off the back of it. Just a ball out the back. Great quick hands there from 9. And great
good touchdown there from the 16 from Nelson. Destiny Sprout, one of the safest hands in the business. 2-1. Oh, jeez. I wonder if that one was... I see that as a referee, that was one thing that really confused me. The amount of times a dummy half would literally have passed the ball forward, not like it floated forward. They actually passed it forward to the player who had just dumped it in front of me. Is it a brain explosion? What happens there?
Yeah, I think you just switch off sometimes a little bit like that. It's such fine margins now. You've got to really concentrate on everything you're doing, especially with 3 refs. They don't miss much.
Oh, I'm going to snip that out of the broadcast when I get home. Matty Stockman saying the refs don't miss much. I love it. He had his fingers crossed when he said that too, for all the referees out there, just in case you're wondering. Southland, though, great defence. Just into a bit of a, I'd almost say settling period. We are 5 minutes into it, but the foot seems to have come off the pedal a bit. Intensity just out of the game, and it's more around focusing on being accurate, as we see the number 8 from Southland, Mika Muliaina. Famous surname and the talent to match it. Nelson now worked their way up the field. Just a bit firm there. Tanisha Gould, the lead referee in this game, just saying that the Southland player had the hand in the ruck. Penalty to Nelson. Just setting things up, getting back towards the middle of the field. We see there the number 2, Connor Holm. And there with his partner in crime, the number 9, Wiramu Makia, or 6, sorry, Zion Ford. You see Zion gives the ball back to Holm, just couldn't quite link up. However, is that a 60 gear, Matty, or is that just a play ball carry on?
I'm not sure there. Not a lot doing there for Nelson. Off the back of a penalty, they've really got to try and be a bit more accurate there.
Here we see them back into their work. Good lift up there from the number 9. From Nelson, just trying to shut down that time and space. Wiramu Makia. One thing we've talked about in the coverage in earlier games, Matty, is just the evolution and the development of the players in terms of their IQ, as we see Cody Stevens turn on the afterburners, couldn't quite get through, as we see them particularly in the yards just looking for extras, not just passing for the sake of it, but understanding where the defender is and manipulating that defender, getting to the outside so we can keep that momentum and getting more yards. And I'm sure it's something you recognise that's developed in the game.
Yeah, just with the size of the 7 now, it is quite hard to get down the field, and that's an easy try again for Nelson. Just basically hands did it, found a little bit of space on that outside, and just a little bit of phase play there. Not much really doing, but seemed to be a whole lot of space out there for Nelson.
Yep, great touchdown there. The second one for Destiny Sproul, which take Nelson to a 3-1 lead. I heard you just say something before we seen that touchdown around. It's harder to get yards on the 7 with the 7 metres. Can you talk us through that one?
I just think a lot of teams, the way they're pressing off the ball these days, it definitely makes it a lot harder. So you've almost got to look for a little bit of an extra sometimes. And like you're seeing with some of these players.
Oh, we've seen this in a previous game, Tanisha Gilt. She's been greedy, taking all of the live stream games. What I really like about the way she does ref, though, is the early communication to the defender. So that number 10, as you've seen, Whānau, just on your screen, never got 2 feet on or behind the touchdown line. And again, making the courageous call to give the greatest advantage to the non-offending team, which was Southland, to play through, touchdown, 2-3, to Nelson, 1 in it. To me, I'm confused. How is it when, if you have to go back 7 as opposed to 5 like we used to, how is it that it's harder to make those yards?
Yeah, possibly. I'm not right in that, but yeah, I think teams are definitely just pressing a lot harder these days. So there's more emphasis on that. So, he's got that down too. He's got some long arms on him. That's an easy reach out for him. Yeah,
a bit of ping pong as we see there. The number 2, Connor Holm going over for the 4th. Southland just got one back. Nelson, good work. Best way to counter a touchdown being scored against you, score on yourself, Matty.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to be interesting whatever team can kind of figure out the middle of the field now. There's a bit of ping pong going out there, but both teams struggling a little bit on the yardage. So I think whatever team can kind of get that momentum going through there is going to work in their favour.
What aspect of each team's yardage play do you see is probably the reason for that struggle?
I'm not too sure at the moment. I think you know, sometimes you think once you've defended that your job's almost done, so you kind of cruise a little bit to come out, but you've really got to put the hammer down and kind of finish the job off. And, you know, your job's not done once that D set's finished.
You must have watched the last 2 live stream games. That's definitely a point that we brought up in terms of, particularly when the 5th touch happens and it's static, there's nothing on. A team didn't get across, and then you sort of clock off, like you say, whereas get the job finished, and then the next job's get the ball up the field before you get to that sub-box. Don't take a rest until you're there. Nelson, really good setup. Just looking to go out the back. I thought it was a poor pass, but actually it was tipped there from number 16 from Southland, Baxter Demond. Key combination here, Thompson.
Oh, not square.
It's been a trend that we've noticed on the live stream. Harley and myself were talking about 3 previous games. There's a lot of not square calls, and without knowing, we're assuming, but I think the referee coaches have obviously observed that yesterday and made a big emphasis on that for the referee, so it's really good to see. Could only help the skill level of the players, just not getting into those bad habits. Southland right back up to the other end of the field. Jimmy Taylor.
Yeah, Southland not getting quite the punch that Nelson are getting off the back end at the moment. So you'll see Nelson as they come into 4 and 5 especially, they're getting a lot better punch than Southland.
And by punch you mean that strike drive, so that the scooper behind them's got momentum going into it?
For sure. As a defence, it's a lot easier to defend if the attack's kind of cruising into you.
Jamie Clements. As we go right, left, almost too many resources out there. No one knew who to get it. Pretty good work there from Nelson. Just unfortunately couldn't finish it off down in that corner. 4-2 Nelson, 3 minutes to go. Feels like we've just introduced you, and now we're only got 3 minutes to go in this first half. Enterprising game so far. The 4th of our 6 of the live stream games here at the 2024 Bunnings Youth Touch Nationals.
Yeah, definitely offside there.
Yeah, it's good that. And probably didn't quite take the advantage he could have, was Nicholas Ellenden. Here he is, fresh set Southland. What do you think Southland should do down here with a fresh set up their sleeve?
Oh. Yeah, they've definitely created some things when they've just kept it pretty basic. So as long as they're getting their drives right, and I'm not sure, Mike, you could talk more about the mismatches.
Well, actually, I don't believe in mismatches, to tell you the truth. I think such is the quality through the years of development of the female players that actually there's just 6 touch players out there now. I don't want to take away from how incredible the female players are, but they're just so strong. I don't really see too many situations like back in the day where the male players would get on the outside of these girls. Just they're very good communicators, strong in the ruck, and real high-level IQ on defence, as we see there. Southland just trying to manipulate the defence.
Probably just need a little bit of direction here. It's a little bit all over the place. See if they can get it right. Yeah, just kind of wasting a few touches here. They've see what they can do.
Muliaina and Ellenden working together, holds the ball. I wondered if there was a little bobble. Perfect positioning from Tanisha Gill.
Yeah, I think if it ain't broke, don't need to fix it. Muliaina again, he's just on that 33 platform, and he's picked the link this time, and it's the right option again. So probably need to look to get him out there a bit and just kind of use him to set those up.
Yeah, what I really liked, you could see Muliaina look up, and instead of just throwing it, because that's what he was going to do preemptively, he's seen where the option was, seen the link defender shutting in a little bit too tight, and he found the right space. Last time Southland scored, Nelson hit straight back. Markia setting things up with Holm as we see a beautiful pass. Great line there, Matty, run by the number 13 from Nelson, Tessa Honey.
Yeah, Deeka just coming down the lane here on a 33 short, and he's just got the girl in a little bit of a pocket, not really, just kind of behind the boy Chopper, and she runs a good line, and the wing defender just can't quite get there. And
I get the skill that I guess is not really mentioned much. There's the catch. That was a bullet that was thrown out from the middle, and it's easy to easier to catch something when you're running away from it. When you're running into it, even harder. So great catch, Southland. Straight back to it.
And there's that
right
guy.
to left.
Oh.
You get 1 point for scoring in the touchdown zone and 2 past it.
Yeah, shout out to my mate Andy Bergen. He's a classic for that. She's obviously been watching a bit of tape of his. Yeah, very unfortunate there.
I just got a text here from Andy saying if Maddie could pass it to me without it going 10 metres forward, I could score more touchdowns actually in the touchdown zone. As you hear the hooter for the first, ends our first half of this fourth live stream game. Very, very good game. Nelson leading this one, taking a 2-touchdown lead, 5-3 against Southland.
Homegrown Heroes is back, and this year I've got a new recruit.
Kia ora touch whānau, it's time to nominate the unsung volunteers who put the mahi in for the sport we love.
Enter them now for the chance to win $5,000 for their touch community.
Kia ora team, George here from Touch NZ. Now we all enjoy a bit of touch, but without a proper warm-up, the chances of being injured are massively increased. So to keep you on the field and out of the emergency room, Touch NZ have made a short and easy warm-up series for all levels, proven to lower the chance of injury by close to 50%. So head on over to our site and check them out. Play safe, play smart.
Kia ora te whānau whānui, no mai hoki mai to the fourth live stream game here at Pullman Park in Takanini. At the moment it is sunny, but we hold our fingers crossed as it changes pretty quickly. But 5-3, Maddie, really, really good half. Took us through the replays of these touchdowns.
Yeah, a lot of Southland's attacks coming off Mulaena here, and it's pretty simple. He's getting some great platforms, and he's able to pick the right option most of the time. Nelson working really well through the orange. They're getting a lot of good looks off the back, and then when they get down to the line, they can do stuff easy like that. They are running a lot of this 32 platform off the back of yardage, and it's giving them this extra number on the left-hand side coming in, and that's definitely creating a lot of space for them.
There it is, that platform you talk about, Matty. Just, you know, a ball player really is only as good as the platform that is set up for them. So we've seen a lot of tries from Nelson, taking an early lead, and Southland having a better part of it in the second quarter of that first half. Getting a few touchdowns back on the board, but then Nelson straight back into it. So we see just that 33 peel in the middle of the field, beating the defender back to the touchdown zone for an excellent touchdown. And Southland here finishing us off, beating the winger girl for space. And the last of our touchdowns for the first half. It's a great chop by the link for Nelson. Great catch. Excellent touchdown as we see Nelson tap us off for the second half of this fourth live stream game. Great yard, second touch, already within the 7 metre zone.
Yeah, just a bit too close to the line there for Nelson.
Don't see it as much as used to, Matty, but the phase play where someone gets touched and they plant it off 1 or 2 metres off or steps off the touchdown zone. Is there any reason for that?
Yeah, I'm not sure. It's definitely gone away a bit. Still just as effective. I think possibly teams are really quite good at defending it now. Just a foot in the ruck there.
Yep, going for the chip and chase. We're not allowed those in the game of touch. So Southland get a repeat set, a penalty for being in the ruck.
Southland really need to try and dominate the orange zone here. They probably let Nelson off the hook a lot with some poor exits. So let's see if they can get this working and get back into the game. Mulaena and Diamond again working here. 3-3 platform. Mulaena again. Long ball. Oh, hard luck.
Just the hat floating around in the background of the touchdown zone there. One of the Nelson players' hats. Good defense there from the winger for Nelson, the whole crew. Just it's almost like we've gone back into a feel-out stage. sometimes we see when teams come out in that second half, it's a real fizz, there's real direction, and they go in and it's ping pong in terms of the touchdowns. This one, just coming back out, trying to find their rhythm again. This is a fantastic strike dump by the number 3, unfortunately. Ball went to ground.
Yeah, good intent there from Nelson. They're definitely come out of halftime fizzling.
Taina Thompson, very strong player in the ruck area. One that all ball players would be wanting to pick from.
Here's Spain, the big man, the captain, working with Stevens. Yeah, a little bit of drop ball early. That wind's definitely playing a part. I think they've just got to shore it up and make sure they can complete sets here.
There he is, Thompson, getting his team on the front foot, allowing those defenders to come on in a direction towards the attacking line rather than peeling around the back. Here's that platform you talk about, Matty. Nice pick off, comes back short side, looking for the 2-on-1. Seems the winger on that side for Nelson. Just there in back play there, the shoelaces. Terrible old shoelaces. Southland get away with one there. Into their work. Oh, nice work there. Just dummied out. Got the lead defender to head on out. 4th touch. He's trying to set something up there. I think that's a big difference here. We've just seen Southland on that 5th touch. Unfortunately, the runner just going straight towards the defender as opposed to like trying to get to the side and create some space just to get in behind, get that 5-on-6 mismatch of numbers. We've seen Nelson very much back into their work, what they're known for in this area. Fantastic yardages through that orange zone, that transition set. Number 7 here, just drawing past. What defence? What do you like about that defence, Matty?
Yeah, just had to make a play there, Paulin, and shut that one down.
And it wasn't a guess. You could see her in the, we won't get a replay of it, but in the touches leading up to it, just changing her body position where she was, came in a little bit, knew that that threat was in there. It was really good work. Didn't quite catch the number for the winger for Southland at the top of the screen, but very, very good defender. Smart player. You just see the difference with Southland's transition, having to pass back to go forward as opposed to being able to run onto all these passes, Matty.
Yeah, Nelson just doing a really good job pressing Southland in their half, making it really hard for them to get out. And then vice versa, they're just working a lot harder themselves coming out. It's really giving Southland some tricky last touch options.
Kobe Johnson-Stevens, one of the athletes that is highly touted to be going places in this game. You see here Connor working with Markia. Connor now just looking back to the right. Markia is going for the late cut. It's maybe the right hand and left hand not knowing what each other are up to there, Matty.
Yeah, just a bit of comms breakdown there.
A little bit better here from Southland. Oh, that's good work there. Again, just manipulating that high defender to get an extra 7 metres. It's not even about the 7 metres. It's more about the momentum in terms of that forward direction towards the attacking line, which creates a better platform for this touch.
Yeah, better set there from Southland. Got right down to the other end. Just like to see them work a little bit harder on the press here. Nelson getting some really easy yards.
It's a real mental thing, I imagine, Matty. That phase of the game through that orange zone, just lifting up off the line nice and quick as Nelson goes right hand side. Johnson-Stevens, gifted athlete that we were just talking about moments ago.
Yeah, great touch on the big man, Spain.
I tell you too, with in terms of the yards, is that the referees, in terms of their 7 metres, it's been really good. So the opportunity is definitely there for both of these teams to go from one end to the other. It's just around making use of the space that they've been given by the refs.
Yeah, for sure. Here go Nelson. Oh, another not square. Something you'd hope the coaches would want to have a word about at half-time, that if the refs are really trying to focus on little things like that, that you make sure you get those right.
Yeah, I think it's one of those skills, or probably more specifically a habit, that players have got themselves into. And if you're not coaching them out of it in the 3 to 6 months in the lead up in your trainings, if there's no emphasis on those fundamental skills, then it's something that's really hard to switch off by a player in game just because it's something they do without thinking about. The Southland now on attack. Nicholas Ellenden setting play up, which might be for the first try of the second half. Thought the referee was angling back for the touchdown there, Matty, but got a bit of support there from the sideline referee and gone back for the touch.
Yeah, it didn't look like there was actually much doing there for Southland, but just chopped a really good line, but even better D from Nelson.
You're right, Matty. Just look at difference.
Oh, great work.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, unlucky.
Yeah, it is unlucky.
Yeah.
I've never run that fast before, but I imagine if you're going that fast, it's hard to stop yourself down when you know how important it is to get the ball to the ground because you've got the scooper right behind you.
You are the owner of the driver of a white Ford Ranger. I'm just assuming it's a Ranger.
Matty, that sounds like your car, one of those $120,000 Rangers.
Nah, definitely not, mate.
Oh, your one's black, not white?
No. I'm actually trying to sell my Toyota Hiace at the moment if anyone's interested.
I thought you'd give those away, not sell them.
Trust you, mate.
Quickly get in your Whakaata 471 and drive it away. I think you work it hard.
Really important period of the game here. 7 minutes to go. Nelson up 2. They can almost shut this out if they carry on these yardage. And
it needs to move to a Ford Ranger white QGW
lucky there, I think.
471.
Pretty positive touch, and Nelson probably get the rub of the green there.
50-50s. That was the call that cracked me up so much when going past sub-box and players are saying, why are they getting all the 50-50s? Because obviously a person's perspective is their reality. And when you're a ref, it was 100% zero, not 50-50. But as you said, rub of the green. I definitely know when you take the ref cap off, put the coach cap on, you definitely start to understand what people are saying when it's talking about 50-50s. Stevens, Thompson.
Good D there from Southland. They need to really get something going here.
If you were the Southland coach, and what would you be telling the crew? How is it that you think they can be a lot more effective throughout that orange zone, Matty?
I think just their first 2 touches are just a little bit lackluster. They've really got to try and find some punch. Get Nelson on the back foot. Nelson are just easily pressing up, able to kind of snuff out those first 2, and Southland can't really get any momentum going. But they look good when they get some roll on off the back end. It's just, here you go, Nelson.
Still yet to have a touchdown in the second half, I think. 10 minutes gone, 5 minutes to go in the 4th of our live stream games. Again, one of those touches. Roll ball's done. I wonder what that was there, the signal, what's going on there. Last touch, this is the one you took to Almeida, not clocking off, get the job done. Nothing in it, just a bit off balance there, number 2. Connor home. Yeah, this is better, just with the defence not being quite as set as they have been. But unfortunately, the substitutes coming on weren't quite ready as well, so it's given Nelson an opportunity. But look at the space between
them. Yeah, that's a big 7.
Yeah,
it's been consistent though, which is good. Both teams getting it.
I remember watching a game down at Waipuna Fields down in Christchurch. These were playing against someone in the, might have just been around Robin, but it was in the stadium. And it was literally, one team would just sprint to the other end, the other team would just sprint. It was the most incredible game with regards to yards that I'd ever seen. The only thing that was equal to the attack was the defence. It was just amazing, and that's what space gives. As we see here, number 5 with a bit of space, back to Thompson, which would have been real just reward for Thompson, who has done a lot of the hard mahi. Taina Thompson for this Nelson team. Just a pause in play as we unfortunately see one of the Southland players just come off second best in that interaction. Looks like he's got a sore knee. Hopefully the magic water and a bit of ice will do the trick.
Yeah, he put his body on the line there, Allenden, to stop that try, and he's come off second best, but serious effort off the back end on that D set.
It's sent a lot of chocolates Dennis Thompson's way, the coach of Southland, sorry. But the job done by the coach, Demi Jessie Sultan for Nelson, is fantastic. She's got her team incredibly well drilled, particularly with their exits and through that orange zone, Maddie. Great job done there by Demi Jessie. So we see here Southland now, a couple of pump fakes.
Yep, there's that man again, Mauri. We've been talking about him all game. We're just giving him a little bit too much space and time there. He's able to pump, hold the D up, and again he picks the right option.
That was poetry. You see the first pump, grabs the defender in front of him. The second pump grabs the link defender for Nelson, and then created a space that wasn't there, which brings Southland right back into the game, Eddie. 4-5, just one into it. Key thing to do, I'm sure it's a mantra in your teams, is after we score one, our most important set is the next one. And that's the one on defense, as we see, just creating numbers on the outside. You see the dive down, support referee in the corner in a perfect position for the Nelson winger to get on the outside and give a bit of breathing space. The number 12 from Nelson, Ania Morgan, as we see you here getting low, great control of the ball. Key touchdown there, Matty.
Yeah, with 2 minutes to go, that's almost the icing on the cake. Southland really got to strike back here. And got to get a quick stop and try and go the length, basically.
Yep. Still definitely enough times to score. It's time to score 2 or 3, particularly if we do it here. We see the number 8. Oh, so close. The referee was happy with the pass. Just unfortunately wasn't held. Minute 30 not out of it. Southland will absolutely get another full set. If they can get a turnover here, they might be able to get 2. So we see Zion forward and the hard-working Thompson. Matty, I'm sure you have a number of players like Thompson who doesn't always need to be the ball player doing the flashy stuff, but will just do the hard graft that makes the ball players look good.
Yeah, for sure. Those guys are what makes every team successful. A lot of the guys who aren't looking for the recognition, they just do the grimy work. I wish I was one of those guys. I'm not allowed to do that in a few teams, but I'd find that way more fun, that's for sure.
You're not allowed to do the hard work in those teams, did you say?
No, they wrap me up in cotton wool these days.
Well, you're so old now that you're 30, like you tell me to.
Yeah, exactly.
Talk about an insult. And we creep into the last minute, 6-4 for momentum for the remainder of their games. As we talked about the results earlier, Southland not going to get the chocolates here, likely. They can make sure their points for and against, and more importantly, just that momentum, the psychology going into this next game. Quick tap, right to left, harder pass and better catch from the Southland winger. Probably just been a little bit haphazard here, Matty, not really sequencing anything.
Yeah, often, when you've really got to try and get one, you tend to rush things a bit. Again, that right to left. They're going to award that.
Nice touchdown, fighting to the end. Great resilience showing there as we look at the replay from the Southland team. Great catch from the winger, number 13, which brings them one closer. Ka koe tātou ki te mutunga o te kemu tua whā. It's the end of our 4th of the live stream games as we see a great victory there by Nelson over Southland, 6-5.
Homeground Heroes is back, and this year I've got a new recruit.
Kia ora touch whānau, it's time to nominate the unsung volunteers who put the mahi in for the sport we love.
Enter them now for the chance to win $5,000 for their touch community.